everybody. I'm excited to see you. This is so cool. Well, happy first day of spring. I'm going to read 3 books, and they're all written by Carol Alexis Schaefer and illustrated by me. The first one is Chicken Talk Around the World. It just came out, and it's Carol's and my latest book together. We've collaborated on, I think, about 13 books now. And the end paper has a map of the world, and the 6 chickens that you will see in the book that represent the different countries. Chicken Talk Around the World. If your gram has a farm near Walla Walla, Washington, United States, in the morning, you find her hens sitting on eggs and gather them up, still warm, for breakfast. The hens and rooster too fluff and peck at their feed, fluff and flap, and you hear bark, 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 cock-a-doodle-doo, chicken talk in English. The glare off of this. Ooh, okay. But if your Gram's farm is tucked into the outskirts of Mexico City, Mexico, you call her abuela. Her hens are called las gallinas. Their eggs are los huevos. The rooster is el gallo. And as they snap up yellow maize and play in the dust, you hear cocoroco, cocoroco, qui, 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 chicken talk in Spanish. Or maybe your Gram's farm nestles in a small village in Kenya. You call her Nyanya. And for her hens laying eggs, you say, Kuku hutaga mayai. Kuku is for hens, hutaga is for laying, mayai is for eggs. And for the rooster, you say, jogo. And as they pick at crusty insects, millet, and kale, you hear, Coco, Leoko, Ko! Chicken talk in Swahili. Or your Gram's farm might be in the countryside of Honshu, the largest island of Japan. You call her Obaa-chan. Her hens are called mendori. Their eggs are tamago. The rooster is ondori. In the yard, they scritch scratch at the mixed mash, and you hear ko 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 ke ko ko. If your Gram's farm covers lush ground in the state of Bihar, India, you call her Nani. The hens are her morgi. The eggs they lay are unde. The rooster is morga. And as they scuff up the ground and bob for plump seeds, you hear kuka, 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 kuka-da-coo. Chicken talk in Hindi. Your Gram's farm might be among the vineyards of Bordeaux, France. There she's called Grand-mère. Her hens are les poules. Their eggs are les œufs. The rooster is le coq. And as they search around for grubs and grain, voila, you hear clou clou, clouy, cocorico, chicken talk in French. In the morning on that farm near Walla Walla, Washington, you also hear, breakfast time, eggs are ready, hot cakes and syrup too. If your gram, wherever she may be, calls something like that to you in her own kind of talk, run to her and say, thanks, Gram. Gracias, abuela. Asante, ñaña. Arigato, oba-chan. Dhanyavad, nani. Merci, grand-mère. And Carol and I have our own special thanks. With special thanks to Ellie, Jackson, and Lawrence Wanambisi, Said Ramirez, Mari Fungino, Michael Fry, Amin Dion, Anu Garj, Tegan Tigani, and the Kenyan Community Association for their invaluable input. And Carol's dedication is to Janet, Nicola, Susan, Peter, Ranger, and John, good eggs, unique friends, each one. And my dedication is for my sister Susan of Walla Walla, fondly called Newman by her grandchildren. This is the back of the book. It says, let's talk chicken talk around the world. And here is the coloring page that I made. Next book I'll read is The Children's Garden, Growing Food in the City. The end papers in this book have lots of seed packets. There's also a worm and a snail, which you'd find on nearly every page in the book. It would be fun to look for. Little green snail. And here's a goldfinch, butterfly you also find in the book. And then the story starts with 3 birds at the bird bath. Carol's dedication says, to Sage and William, Paul, Ben, and Jorge, and especially Ted, for the TLC in my garden. And mine says, to Devin, who loves to dig in the dirt. Down the road from Woodlawn Avenue, on a street called Sunnyside, there's a garden patch grown by children who live in the neighborhood. A sign on the garden's gate says, Children's Garden, welcome. That means, come in, please. Listen, see, smell, touch, even taste. There's the little snail. And there's a snail. In the children's garden, deep, dark soil, rich with rotted grass, apple peels, and onion skins, is tunneled through by worms who wriggle it loose and give it air. Ah. In the children's garden, well-worn tools, rows of spades, rakes, and hoes are used. Snail. Scritch, scratch, to turn, to pile, to dig in the soil, making mounds and holes. In the children's garden, all sorts of seeds, round brown, plump white, flat black, are scattered or dropped one by one, then covered by hands that pat, pat, pat. Snail. In the children's garden, boxes, pots, and plots full of soil and seeds get soaked by showers from clouds or hoses, buckets or cans, so everything stays drip, drop, damp. even under the sizzling sun. Snail. In the children's garden, tender sprouts pop out of soft, earthy beds, slim-stemmed with leaves in twos, all small, yet strong enough to stretch their green tops up and reach their root toes down. Snail, quail, robin. In the children's garden, corn rows, strawberry clumps, lettuce groups, tomato clusters, sunflower stands, zucchini jumbles, and green bean tents grow, forming patterns that fill the spaces with leaves and flowers, vegetables and fruit. In the children's garden, children call to each other. Listen to those crows caw and yak. Well, talk back. Tell them to stay out of our corn. Snail, snail. Look at the shape of this funny tomato. Ha! It's like a clown's head with a big red nose. Smell the peppermint I grew. Rub it with your fingers. I like to chew it. Whew, pulling weeds is hot, hard work. It's cool inside the bean tent. Let's take a rest. In the children's garden near the gate, dust-dappled children carrying brimful baskets home stop for a moment to watch while sunflowers do an evening dance, nodding their shaggy heads and rustling their leafy dresses. Snail. On the gate, the sign still says, Children's Garden, welcome. That means come back again with one friend or 10, and if you like, in your own earth spot, a yard, a lot, or even a giant-sized flower pot, plant another children's garden. And Carol has an author's note that I'm going to read the beginning and the end, but it's a thank you for the Seattle TILF, now called TILF Alliance. The Children's Garden is a real place. It is located on Sunnyside Avenue in Seattle, Washington. I first wandered into it years ago on a summer evening walk. I knew right away that I wanted to write about this lively, lovely city garden tended by neighborhood children. As author of the Children's Garden, I want to acknowledge and thank TILF Alliance. From seeds they planted, this book grew. And I have a couple of coloring pages for this book. One is a seed packet pattern that you can cut and fold and glue and make your own seed packet, design and color it. And a coloring page of the cover of the book. This last book I'll read is the first book that Carol and I did together. It happened serendipitously. I was trying to sell it as a wordless picture book. And Carol saw some of the drawings that I had done for it. And one morning she was stepping out of what she calls her think tank, her shower. And she had all these words on her mind that went with my pictures. She wrote them down, called me on the phone and read it to me. And I was so happy, I burst into tears because it was what I was trying to say with just pictures for 22 years. So we got together and collaborated. And here it is. It's still in print. It came out in 1996. It's still in print in paperback. Carol calls it the Squiggle. My teacher says, time to walk to the park. So as always, off we go in a bunched up, slow, tight, straight line. I am last. No one else sees what I see on the sidewalk. I grab it. Slither slish. It could be the dance of a big, scaly dragon, or push a pat, the top snap, ta-da! Maybe it's the path of a circus acrobat. Or hiss, the sky trail of popping fireworks. Kaboom! It might be the poof of a stormy thundercloud. Or ripple, shh, the circle of a deep, still pool. Or even a whoosh, the rise of the full fat moon. Not so far ahead, I see my teacher and my class shuffling along. Wait, I call, look. Everyone turns around. I show the dragon, the wall, the acrobat, the fireworks, the storm cloud, the pool, and the moon. Everyone is smiling. Hooray, they cheer and grab on too. Then off we go to the park in our slither slish, push a pat, snap, ta-da, crack, crickle, hiss, tug, kaboom, ripple, shh, a whoosh. Squiggle of a line. Carol's dedication says, to Judy, Mary, and Dave, who inspired my childhood play, and to Pierre, whose playful lines inspired this story. Mine says, to my teacher, Agnes Haga, a squiggler of all squigglers. And the coloring page for this book is the dragon. Thank you very much for coming. I'm so happy that you're all here. It was fun to see you.
Thank you all so much for coming. I just want to let you know one more time that we do have Chicken Talk Around the World and Children's Garden here at Auntie's, along with the coloring pages. And Pierre, I wonder if, would you just take a minute and talk to us about the mezzanine gallery, the Pottery Place Plus installation that your pictures are at?
Yes, upstairs from Auntie's Books is the mezzanine gallery, the Liberty Gallery, and all of the art from the Children's Garden is on display there. And then on the side wall are 5 different panels from Chicken Talk, preliminary artwork, and then the changes of those preliminaries that are printed in the book. And then I have a little blurb for each panel of why the changes happened. And so those things are in the gallery, plus there's some prints available to purchase through Pottery Place Plus, which is downstairs from the gallery. connected to Auntie's with a doorway where you'll see a large card rack, and there's some cards for sale too from these books.
Thank you. All right, I think we'll leave it there this morning. Thank you for coming. Thank you for reading, Pierre. Have a great day.
You're welcome.